Samsung is about to change foldables again, but this time it's not just an upgrade, it's a completely different direction because a brand new model just leaked and it's called the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. And honestly, this might be the biggest design shift we've seen in years. So far, everyone has been focused on the regular Galaxy Z Fold 8. But behind the scenes, Samsung has been quietly working on something else. A foldable with a totally different screen shape, and now we finally have proof. New leaks coming from early One UI 9, Android 17 builds have revealed something crazy. We're not just talking about rumors anymore. We're talking about actual system graphics and animations pulled directly from Samsung's own software. And these clearly show a foldable that looks nothing like the current Z Fold lineup. Here's where things get interesting. The new Fold 8 Wide appears to have an aspect ratio of around 1.3 to 1. Now, if you compare that to the current Galaxy Z Fold, which is closer to a square, this new design is noticeably wider. That means better video viewing, more natural app layouts, and possibly a much better everyday experience when unfolded. Basically, Samsung might be fixing one of the biggest complaints about foldables. And it doesn't stop there. The leaked animations show features like cover screen mirroring, specifically optimized for this new wide display. Even more interesting, some of the file names inside the software include H8, which matches a code name previously linked to Samsung's Wide Fold project. So this isn't just a concept, this is something Samsung has been planning for a while. But here's the catch. We still haven't seen the actual phone. No real-life photos, no hands-on videos, nothing. All we have are software clues, but they're starting to paint a very clear picture. And here's why this matters right now. Samsung is expected to launch its new foldables this July, which means we're just months away from seeing whether the Fold 8 Wide is real or just an experiment. If this leak turns out to be true, Samsung might not just release a new foldable, they might be introducing a whole new category. Let me explain why the Galaxy Z Wide Fold is the most dangerous phone Samsung has ever built. For years, foldable fans have had one complaint, the same complaint, every single time. Why is the screen so square? The Z Fold 7 has a 1.1 to 1 aspect ratio. That means when you watch a movie, you get black bars the size of your thumb. When you read a website, everything looks squished. It works, but it never feels right. Now, look at what just dropped inside the One UI 9 firmware. The Galaxy Z Wide Fold, model number SM F971B. Inside the code, leakers found images showing a 4:3 aspect ratio. Do you know what else is 4:3? An iPad, a magazine, a sheet of paper. Samsung just stopped trying to make a tall tablet. They're making a real tablet that folds in half. And here's where it gets juicy. Samsung isn't doing this in a vacuum. Apple has been rumored for years to be working on a foldable iPhone, and every single leak says the same thing. When Apple's foldable opens up, it will be 4:3. So let me read this back to you. Samsung is launching a 4:3 foldable in July 2026. Apple is rumored to launch a 4:3 foldable later in 2026. Samsung just looked at Apple's secret playbook and said, cool, we'll ship it first. That is not competition. That is theft in broad daylight, and I am absolutely here for it. But wait, this is where things get crazy, because the Wide Fold isn't alone. Samsung is launching 3 foldables this year: the Flip 8, the Fold 8, and this Wide Fold. The Flip 8 is for the TikTok crowd. The Fold 8 is for the business guys who still answer emails on a Tuesday morning. But the Wide Fold, this is for everyone who has ever said, I wish my iPad could fit in my pocket. And here's the kicker. The same firmware leak mentions something else. The Z Fold 8 and the Wide Fold will feature nearly crease-free displays. We've heard that promise before, I know.
We've been burned. But the rumor mill says this time it's real. New hinge, new ultra-thin glass, no visible line down the middle. Imagine watching a movie on a 4x3 screen with no crease. It just looks like one solid slab of glass. That is the dream Samsung has been chasing for 6 generations, and it might finally be here. Over the past few days, 2 sets of CAD renders have surfaced. First, the standard Fold 8, then shortly after, the wide version showed up. These aren't official renders, but they're based on leaked dimensions turned into 3D models, so the design might not be perfect, but the size and proportions should be pretty close. Now here's the main question. What actually makes the wide version different? At first, it sounds confusing. The wide version actually has smaller screen sizes on paper, around 7.6 inches inside and 5.4 outside, while the regular Fold 8 is bigger, with around 8 inches inside and 6.5 outside. So naturally, you'd expect the wide to feel smaller. But that's not really what's happening. When you look at the comparison images, it becomes way clearer. The standard Fold 8 looks taller, while the wide version looks more stretched out. And that's because it is. The regular Fold 8 sticks to that tall, narrow design, but the wide version goes shorter and wider. At first glance, the difference isn't obvious, but the moment you rotate it sideways, it just makes sense. The screen feels more horizontal, even wider than the regular Fold is tall. And that changes everything. Because this isn't about having more screen, it's about using it differently. A wider layout could feel better for multitasking, better for reading, and way better for watching content without everything feeling cramped. It's still unclear how Apple will design its rear cameras. If Apple goes with a horizontal layout, things might look different. But if they choose a vertical layout like the base iPhone 17, then the designs of the Fold Wide and the foldable iPhone could end up looking quite similar. So the real question is, would you pick the regular Fold 8 or go for the brand new wide version?